Welcome back to Forsyth Tech's plumbing diagrams class. So where we're picking up with is we were doing the bird's eye view drawings for just the individual fixtures. So far what we've looked at the last class that we had, we picked up the water closet, which is the toilet, and we did a bird's eye view drawing of that one, and then also a shower. So let's just do a quick recap of those and show what those are going to look like from the bird's eye view perspective. So, make sure that's still going. All right. So with a water closet, from the bird's eye view drawing, you would look on the floor plan and see the symbol for a toilet or a water closet. Okay. And then what we did is we talked about that I might point in a direction and say we want all the drainage heading in this direction right here. Okay, so when I have you do a drawing, I'm going to give you a fixture, but I'll tell you which way I want the drains heading. Okay, so you're going to say, and then I may tell you, but I also want to clean out in the back of that pipe. So a clean out is just a port where you can open up into the drainage system, take a plug out, remove it, to where if there was a stoppage in the line, you would be able to send a cable down through there and clean that clog out. So how would that look? Let's look at the side profile of the water closet. So if you saw it, maybe there's the wall right there, the floor. You have a toilet sitting like this. Okay, there's your toilet. All right. Now, I've got the drain going out away from the front of the toilet. So what we've got is the drain's going to be heading out in this direction. Of course, the drain is underneath the floor, if this represents the floor. So what we have is the drain going this way. And then we need to turn vertical to go hook that drain up. So we turn vertical. On what mounts on the floor is a water closet flange, which most of you should be able to picture because you've been in taking some of the plumbing classes. If you haven't, that's just often it's a plastic piece nowadays, a PVC fitting that just gets mounted to the floor. It's got places where you can run some screws into it, but the toilet is going to mount to that. We call it a water closet flange. Now, this fitting right here is a combination Y and an eighth bend. We talked about those as we looked at the fittings. If looking straight down on it, we had the fitting of a Y, which comes off at 45 degrees. We have an eighth bend, which turns 45 degrees, that fitting right there. So if you took a Y and then put an eighth bend with it, it gives you this 90-degree turn right here. So we have an opening on this end, opening on this end, and an opening where it turns that way. So now we just laid that fitting on its back. This is like it's heading downstream, opening in the back to where we could put a clean out. And the vertical turn goes up for the water closet flange. Now that's just what we would call an elevation drawing. It's only two-dimensional, but looking from the side profile of something, okay? Now we want to turn that to a bird's eye view drawing. If you were flying over top of this and you were to look straight down on it, okay, what would that plumbing look like? You're going to see, if you look straight down, this is going to look like a solid line to you. Solid line. And then when you look here, it's going to look like a round open piece of pipe. If you remember, we said solid lines represent horizontal drain pipe. And when you had circles, they represented vertical turns in the pipe. So we need to make a vertical turn right under the toilet. So we put a circle there to represent the vertical turn. We sent the drain coming out of that going in this direction like I specified. And if I told you to put a clean out in the back, you would just extend it out a little bit further beyond the circle and then put a line and then representing a clean out. Often on a drawing, you may see those labeled CO to represent a clean out, okay? And then labeled WC for the water closet, but you don't have to say WC for here because it actually shows the picture of the water closet symbol right there. Okay. Now remember, we talked about that we could just send that drain out in any direction that we wanted to. If I told you to send the drain in this direction, you would have just simply put your circle, drawn a line. And if I said put a clean out in the back, that's what it would look like. Okay. So hopefully you all have got that down in your notes and you've already made those drawings. That was just a little review of the water closet. Then we have a review of the shower that we talked about. On a bird's eye view drawing or the floor plan, what the shower is going to look like is you're going to see probably this walled section where the shower is going to either be inserted into if it's a fiberglass shower, or maybe they've tiled it around. But they'll show a drain with these showing the floor pitching in towards the drain, a little slope on that. That's what the shower is going to end up looking like on a floor plan. Okay, so we did a bird's eye view drawing of that. Let's show an elevation drawing of this shower. That does look like some of the lumber that I've bought from, I'm not going to name any places, but that I've got to sort through. Say, man, where do they get this lumber from? All right, so we've got this shower compartment here. All right. There's your nice little shower head. There you go. All right, so we got this shower. What we have, we're going to have a drain in the shower. That's going to come down. The pipe hooks to the drain. It's going to go under. And then right below the fixture is going to be the symbol for a P-trap. Now on the bird's eye, but on the elevation drawing, you're going to actually see, you would see the dip. And maybe I told you to take the trap and go this direction with it. Okay. There's the side elevation drawing perspective of a P-trap underneath the shower drain with the drain pipe heading in that direction. Now, how that's going to look on the bird's eye, if you remember what the symbol for the P-trap was. The symbol for the P-trap was, remember, a circle to represent this opening. If you were to be looking straight down on this, the opening of the drain. But to represent the P-trap, we also show the little turn down with the bend, and then the drain going in that direction. This is the bird's eye view drawing of this elevation drawing for the shower drain. Okay. Now you could take that out in any direction that I told you to. If I told you send the drain going out in this direction, you would come to the center. You would put a circle for the drain, the representation of the turn down, and then just send out your drain going in the direction that I told you to send it. Okay. All right. We also added one extra thing to that. We said, what is that going to look like if I have you put a vent? Because every trap fixture, every trap needs to be protected by a vent. So here's that shower compartment again over here. But I told you, let's add a vent to it. Where we're going to put our vents is we're going to hide those in the walls. So since the drain is passing up under this wall right here, we're going to take and put a fitting on its back. Now in this case, since it's turning up for just for vent, that is allowed to be a sanitary T or a tighter turn, because it's only vent air that's going to be coming up through this. If we had something draining through it, then that would need to be a combination of a Y and eighth bend, that long sweep into the turn into it. Also, we mentioned in last class that vents are going to be shown by dash lines on your drawing. Of course, yes, it is a solid pipe in real life, but to distinguish that's a vent, you're going to only see that as a dashed line. Okay, and there goes the vent up through that wall, and often you'll see a V beside it representing the vent. Now, how's that going to look on the bird's eye perspective? So if you're looking straight down on all of this, you are flying overhead and you're looking straight down. You come and start at this eye, you're going to see the circle, right? Right as soon as you look over this part, you're seeing the circle. Then the symbol for the trap because you have the turn down. Then you're going to see, going from that turn down, you see a little bit of solid line going until it gets to this wall. And then when you're at this wall, looking straight down on it, you're going to see the opening of this pipe again. It is a vertical pipe turning, so we represent vertical pipes by circles. There's a circle. Let's represent, we're going to put V beside that circle to show that that is a vent, is what that turnup's doing. And then we see, after that circle, we see some more solid line for a little ways. So there it is. There is the bird's eye view drawing of the plumbing for that shower. We just put it over here to the bird's eye view. So maybe I told you, let's send that out in this direction again and individually vent it. So you're gonna say, as I go over, I see the circle or the vertical turn for the shower drain, the little bend for the dip down. I saw a little solid line until we got to the wall where we turned a vent up. So put another circle and I put V beside it to represent vent. And then I continue to head in that direction with the drain line. Okay, there you go. That's where we left off with last class. Now we just need to add some more fixtures. We've talked about a water closet. We've done a shower. Now let's just make that let's go and do a tub shower or just a tub. So we've got a shower. Now let's look at a tub or a tub shower, either one. So how's that going to look on a drawing? On the floor plan, might see something that looks like this. There's some walls. Typical shower length is normally 5 foot across here. And you can now, as you face it, see this is the open end. This is the open edge of the tub here. So as I face it, and I'm looking at it this way, here's the walls that are surrounding it. You can, when you go to order a tub or a shower, you look and say if you're going to put a drain on one end. So tubs are going to be that way. So if the drain was down this end of the tub, we would say that is a right-hand tub. Okay, a right hand, because as you face it from the open side, the drain is on the right. That's a right-hand tub. If you have the drain over here as you face it, we'd say that's a left-hand tub. Okay, so there's a right-hand tub. Now let's do some plumbing for this. Let's look at this from a elevation drawing. There's the tub walls. There's the tub flood level rim. Let's put the shower valve and handle is going to be here. Shower heads up here. A little tub spout. Okay, over for the tub. All right. There you are after a hard day, soaking in the tub. Whee! All right, so there you are. All right, so we got the drain down this end since it's a right-hand tub. How that's going to look, which you aren't going to have to draw this part, but I should probably draw it for you. The drain is down here, but there's also, if you looked at your tub, if you got a tub at the house, it should be like a little cover up here. That's an overflow. If you fill this tub too full, or maybe you filled it right up to the rim, but then you got in it and your body displaced some water and the water level goes up, it's made for it. When it hits that, it runs over. If you look up under there should be a slot under the end of that. That's called an overflow cover. So really the way that plumbs, this goes down and then back. That goes over like this, catches a T right there. Okay, this is a little waste and overflow kit you can buy for these. This is where your trap sits for the tub, right under this. So it's really looking like behind there. Now we might take a trap this way and then go in that direction. Okay, so If I'm going out in that direction, that is this way as the bird's eye view. So how would you show that? When you go to hook this up, it's just a symbol for the P-trap, which is really going to be right about here, and then heading this direction. If you want to, now I'm not too picky about this as far as if you came right on over and put your P-trap showing under there, I'm fine with that, okay? Just so you understand, it's really, the P-trap's not straight under that drain. It's got to come back a little bit before you hit the P-trap. But as long as you get the P-trap down in around that area of the tub and shoot it out, I'm good with your drawing with that, okay? So there it goes. Once again, you can send that in any direction you wanted to. How about if I told you, well, we really want the drain going out in this direction. You could put your symbol for a P-trap, the turn down with a turn back up. Drain line coming out in that direction. Now, just like the tub shower, the shower that we drew, but here's a wall. Okay. If we sent this down, put a P-trap, started heading in this direction, and then I said to individually vent it, you could put a sanitary tee on its back and send it right up in that wall. So how's that going to look when you look straight down on top of it? Well, it's going to look just like this. Opening for the P-trap, turn down for the P-trap, the solid line until you get to the wall. And then you're going to see, as you look down on it, the opening of that. So we will see the circle for that. That we can label that with a V to represent that's the vent. And then we have a little bit of solid line coming out of the back of it. Okay? Elevation drawing, bird's eye view drawing for how you would see it and how you're going to lay this out when you get a floor plan for it. So this is really what we want to be able to draw. There you are with your tub or tub shower. Okay, let's pick up with let's just do the clothes washer. Now the clothes washer, if you were to go and look behind your clothes washer on the floor plan, you're going to have a wall back here, and it's just going to be represented by two boxes here, W and D. You got a washer and dryer, Now, how that connection looks, if we were to look at this from straight on, okay, straight on, here's your floor, okay, here's your stud walls, okay, we're going to go put some plumbing in here. So what we're going to do is back in this wall, we're going to set a washer here, dryer here. This is looking straight into the wall. We are going to drill a hole for the drain to go down through the floor. This is in the wall. This is going to go up vertically a little bit, and then that's going to turn into vent. Okay, that's vent. Then you're going to put a sanitary tee on its side to come over and put a trap on it. Okay, that's going to go up vertically. And then have a washer box. Okay. Now on this washer box is the drain location. It will also have connections, one on either side, for your hot and your cold for your water. Okay. So you can hook your supply lines from the clothes washer to this washer box. You also take the drain line from the clothes washer and just hook it over into that pipe. And that just kind of gets a little washer box set in the wall. Okay, but that's what it's going to end up looking like. Okay, so how is that going to look on the bird's eye view drawing? There's not much to see if all we're doing is just stubbing right to here. If you go over and look down vertically, you're going to see a circle here, a little piece of solid line, then the P-trap. So a P-trap is a turn down and a turn back up. All right. So that's all you would see. You see in the circle, because this hole represents the whole vertical line, solid line, which represents this little bit of horizontal pipe, and then the turn down right there, and then this whole vertical line coming back up, the circle right there. Now we put a little V beside that to say that it's a vent for the washer. So just come over and put it over here. What we did in the wall behind the washer, we turned up vertically, which we labeled as a V for vent, because that's going to keep on going straight up like this. We came over in the wall a little bit and put the trap in the wall with the washer box up on top of it. That's all that your drawing would look like right there. Very simple, very simple. Now, maybe what we did is when we got underneath the floor, it might have taken and then turn. I told you to, well, send the drain going out in this direction. Well, you connect to the bottom and go this way, okay? How about if I told you put a clean out in the back of it, though? You say, okay, not a problem. You go to the back of this, continue out a little bit, and put the vertical line for a clean out. All right? That would have to be a combination Y and 1/8 bend fitting. It cannot be a sanitary T. A sanitary T would be too tight of a bend right there. You're going to have that on a combination. Like I said, it's hard to tell. You wouldn't be able to see that from a drawing alone. You're just going to have to, that's just comes from some plumbing knowledge that you would have to know that. So I'm just going to throw you little bits of plumbing information in with the drawing class. Might help you out a little bit. Okay, so let's look at that. So what would that look like up here? Well, we came off the circle, which was the vent, and then we sent a line going out in this direction. Now check this out. This is the part that's going to be a little bit tricky. If you were to look straight down bird's eye view, this pipe is blocking the view of this here because you're looking straight over. This one is straight over top of this. So it'd be hard to see what's underneath if you've got something sitting on top of it. So what you'll notice and what you'll see that they do on a bird's eye view drawing, when something is overlapping something else in this case, where it makes it harder to see, check this out. This is the P-trap going into that vertical piece of pipe, which was the vent, the drain going out. Now coming out of the back of that, what they will do is they will offset it slightly. They're still showing that is attached to the circle, that vertical turn, and the symbol for the clean out. But they will offset it a little bit so you can see it, and then you'll have it abbreviated that's a clean out. Okay? So that's what you'll see. You'll see it like that. Sometimes people draw that. They might come out at a little bit of an angle and label it CO. That does not go into the circle at an angle like that. It would be into the back. So I prefer in the drawings to offset it and still try to show that in line so that you wouldn't think, oh, that's coming in at a funny angle. Well, no, they just swung it around on the circle a little bit so that you see that there's two things still there, that clean out is there. And then just put an abbreviation with it so that you can see, oh yeah, well, that's the CO, clean out. That's the clean out for this line going out there. Okay? Now, I could have told you to take that drain out in any direction. Maybe if the washer was sitting here, washer and dryer, and I told you take the drain going in this direction, you would put the plumbing back in the wall just like normal, circle representing the vent, arm over, trap in the wall with the box above it. But then if I said send the drain in this direction, you would connect to the base here where you came underneath the floor and send the drain in that direction. Okay? If I told you put a clean out in the back of this horizontal line, you're going to put a little line and represent have a clean out drawn. Okay? Make sure you're getting all of these in your notes. I will give an assignment at the end of this, and I'm going to have you drawing individual. I will show you a fixture, and I will tell you which way to put the drawing. The drain is going to go. I'm going to tell you whether I want to clean out in the back. I'm going to tell you if I want you to put a vent or not. So make sure you're getting this down. All right, that was for the clothes washer. Let me give you, here's just a side note, little bit of information, review for those who've been in the plumbing, a little bit of new information for those who haven't been. Some measurements regarding that clothes washer. Okay. Here was the drawing, correct? From the side, I'm going to just draw a side elevation drawing. Sure you can see that. Now let's just say that's where it goes through the floor, but we're going to call that the finished floor that the clothes washer is going to sit on. This clothes washer is going to sit on this, so we're labeling that the base of the washer. And often the base of the washer is sitting on the finished floor. But I just want you to know the code says base of the washer. So if you took a drawer and you set your clothes washer up on one of those drawers that you might have seen, the base of the washer is going to be the top of that drawer. So that's where the measurements are coming from. In that case, it wouldn't be the floor. In most cases, it is the floor, because the finished floor, because the washer's sitting on that, but the base of the washer. Let's look at some rules, some heights of all these pipes. What this code says is from this pipe right here is called a stand pipe. A stand pipe which goes to the bottom of this washer box, which if you went and looked in your laundry, you'd probably see that. The height of that from the base of the clothes washer is a minimum of 34 inches. Minimum of 34 inches. All right. Now, there's also some more measurements in here. This part of the trap, where it crests over and starts to head down this drain right here, is called the weir of the trap. From that height to the base of the washer, down to here, from the weir of the trap to the bottom of the box, is a minimum of 18 inches and a maximum of 48 inches. Okay, this is just a little side information that you can write down, and you can just say, hey, well, all I'm doing is taking just the drawing class. I'm learning how to draw, but I'm also learning a little bit of some plumbing facts as I go along too. Okay, but just so you know, here's some of the measurements. So if you try to picture about how long are these pipes and how big are they, and is there any height restrictions, there they are. Okay, and that would be the vent. Okay, let's go another fixture here. Let's look at the bathroom lavatory. A lavatory is a bathroom sink, okay? But plumber terms, we call them lavatories. So, from the bird's eye perspective on a floor plan, you're going to see the lavatory drawn like this. That would represent, and if you saw a toilet sitting beside it, you know that's a bathroom sink or the lavatory. And then you might see written over here, abbreviated LAV for lavatory. You might have a single. You could end up, they might have one on there where that just continues on over a little ways. And you might have a double lavatory sink, double lavs. Let's look at the single to begin with. Let's just put it right in the corner of a room. Okay, maybe that's sitting in the corner of a bathroom, lavatory. Okay, so how that's going to look from the side elevation drawing. There's your cabinet. If you could see through the cabinet, you would see the bowl like this, the wall behind it. Directly underneath the sink, you will have, that's going to go down and have a P-trap. It's going to always be in the cabinet, or if it's a pedestal sink, it should be up above the floor. You should never see that pipe go down through the floor. If you do, it was just plumbed in correctly. It has a trap on it. It goes back into the wall. It's going to turn down for the drain, And when we go down for the drain, that's going to have to go up for the vent. So there's the vent for that lavatory. Every sink that you draw, every sink, you're always going to have to show a vent, because whenever you turn down, before you can turn down, you have to turn vertically. The maximum, here's another little piece of plumbing information. The maximum vertical distance from between the fixture outlet, where it's going to drain out of the bottom of the sink, and this trap weir, the maximum distance, maximum vertical drop is 24 inches. Maximum drop is 24 inches. That's why we're going to have the trap in the sink. If we set it down and put the trap underneath, that's over 24 inches. It breaks the code. So we got to put the trap here, and then it's going to send us going back into the wall, but we still got to get the drain below the floor. Now, what you'll see in some cases, you'll see and look under some sinks, and you'll see it do something like this. It will come down, it will trap because it can't go underneath, and then you'll see it turn over and go back down. That is also illegal. It's not allowed. You can't drop after the P-trap. You cannot drop more than the diameter of the pipe before you put a vent on it. Okay, so in order to turn back down, I've got to go up with a vent. So what we're going to do is we're going to send it back to the wall so that we can hide the vent in the wall. And when we go down with the drain, we'll go up with a vent to make sure that we're meeting all the plumbing rules that we need to meet. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. Another piece of information is when I go down, we could go straight back in here with a drain and turn and put a vent right behind the sink. But the reason I don't like to do that is if you go look at your sink in your bathroom, what is up on the wall directly above that sink bowl? What do you see? A light fixture, more than likely, okay? So if the electrician's going to want to put a light right above the sink bowl, we don't want to go put a vent right behind there and be all in his way, okay? So we want to keep the other trades guys happy with us. So we're going to do a little different plumbing style and offset our plumbing a little bit just so he's got room for his light. So what we are going to do, when you plumb a lavatory sink, there's the wall behind the lavatory. There's the lavatory sink. Pick a side. Now, sometimes it's going to be better on one side than the other. But because the light fixture is going to be up here, let's come over here with the drain and we put a circle. That's where the drain's going to go down. Now we're going to arm over in the wall and out and put a trap under here. Okay? So what we have there, now this is harder to show. On an elevation drawing, it just is only two-dimensional. So when you see this, and you can see this go back into the wall, but then it's hard to show and depict any type of horizontal offset going one way or the other, because this is just kind of flat. All right. When we start to convert to isometric drawings, that's what the isometric drawing is going to show. It's going to show some three-dimension to it. You're going to kind of rotate that drawing onto a 30-degree angle and look at it like you're looking kind of up and down at it a little. Let me just show you. You don't have to write this down yet because we'll be drawing this later on. But the circle represents a vertical line. Here goes the drain, and then goes up with the vent. Then it goes a horizontal line over. So now this isometric is going to send you off on a 30-degree angle to represent this line. And then it's going to show the 90 by another cross grid pattern of a 30-degree angle coming out of the wall and it's going to put a trap on the end of that. Okay, but what that's doing, so you'll be like, well, man, that looks like that's pitching way up. Well, really what your drawing is going to look like if you were to see the room for this, to see in the room, your sink looks like this. It's going to help show a little bit more. My angles aren't perfect. Just have to forgive me on that. There's your cabinet. See there? Got a little base for here. A faucet that comes up and over. Okay. So maybe you can start, you could see, that's how you're looking at the cabinet. You're going up, but it adds some 3D to it so that you can see all the pipes. Those isometrics are going to really help with that. Okay. But we're not there quite just yet. Let's get these bird's eye view drawings down first. So just so you know what's going on, that's what we're doing. We're offsetting the vent, coming over, out, and putting a trap for that sink. And then I might tell you and say, oh, take the drain going out in this direction. It's going to connect to the bottom of it, to where you went down through and underneath the floor. That's going to be the drain that goes out in this direction. Okay? Maybe I tell you to put a clean out in the back. If I tell you to put a clean out in the back, come to the back of here and put the clean out. Okay? Take a close look at these lavatories. These get a little bit tricky for some people, because what you want to do is when I show you a lavatory sink like this, and I tell you to take the drain out in this direction, it's real easy to want to go like this and put a trap and send the drain in that direction. That is not correct. That pipe is coming right out of the front of the cabinet and is higher than the floor. So that's not gonna work for us. You've got to get, before you can start heading in the direction that you want to go, you've got to get it vented, and you got to get the drain below the floor. Where are you going to put all that? You're going to put it in the wall. So you're going to put a trap on the fixture, send it back into the wall. You're not going to turn vertical just yet because the light fixture is above you, so you can pick a side. Let's just go on this side this time. Does not matter. Come to the side, show a circle where you turn, the drain went down below the floor, that went up with the vent. Now, I'm telling you, send the drain in that direction. Now you can connect onto the bottom of that, which is underneath the floor, and send the drain in this direction. If I tell you to put a clean out in the back, come to the back of this circle and put your clean out. Okay? All right. How about if I told you, send the drain out in this direction? Come to the bottom of the circle, go out in this direction. If I told you to put a clean out in the back, come off the circle, offset it just a little bit, put a clean out off the side, because this arm is blocking the view of that so that you can show it. Okay? That's your lavatory sinks. Right now, let's just stop with a single lavatory sink. That's as far as I'm going to take it for you for right now. We'll add on and end up starting doing double lavs and everything else a little bit later. Lavatory sink. So that really looked like a lot like the clothes washer. So if you remember the clothes washer, remember you had a wall. So you had a circle in the wall. You went over, but your trap was in the wall. Now on a lavatory sink, you had a circle. You went over, but you came out of the wall before you put your trap. This was a clothes washer. And this was the lavatory. That was the vent. That was the vent. Look at these. Really, really close to looking like each other, right? Just remember the clothes washer, the trap is in the wall where we're going to have the washer box right above it. On the lavatory, we just need to make a turn out of the wall because the trap is underneath the sink bowl in the cabinet of the sink. So it's outside of the wall. Okay? Very close, similar in those. Now, we're going to go to another one that is very, very close, almost just like it, but we're going to look at the kitchen sink. You might see that abbreviated KS on there. But check this out. It's very, very similar to the bathroom sink with the lavatory. Except on a kitchen sink, very often you're going to have two bowls, okay? A two-compartment sink. Now, often on a kitchen sink, you're right above the kitchen sink, you might have a window. Might be a window there. There may be a opening right there. That's often in the, so there's something often in the middle of centered with that kitchen sink. Now, not all the time, but for that reason, we'll go ahead and get used to plumbing it like we plumb our bathroom sinks. We're going to set the vent off to the side. I can't send a vent up if there's a window right there. I can't have a vent going through my window. So the vent's going to have to be off to the side. So we just pick a side and we put, that's where the sink drain is going to go down. Okay, so we put that off the side. Just like the lavatory sink, you're going to come over, you're going to come out. Now that doesn't matter if that's into the window area because the window's above the sink. This arm is below the sink, okay, behind it, behind the cabinet. Now we can arm out and we put the symbol for a P-trap. Turn down and turn up. Now that looks just like how we would plumb the lavatory, right? A vent over here where the drain goes down, and we came over and caught that. The only thing that's extra is we need to pick up this other bowl. So what we do is we come off of this circle, go over, and catch the circle there. How's that going to look? Let's look at that from an elevation drawing. Elevation drawing is straight on. There's our double compartment sink. We might have the kitchen sink faucet here in the middle of that. Okay, so we're picking up the two bowls. Now on this one, we came down out of the bottom of the left bowl, put a trap, and then we headed back into the wall. And then this circle that we're connected to, there's the circle. So if you're bird's eye view, you're looking straight down on it. You're seeing a circle there, and you're seeing the circle to the opening of this one. You're seeing the P-trap symbol, where it goes back into the wall, and then over and down. I'll have to show that isometrically to show you any of that. But let's show this detail right here. So coming off of this circle, so under the sink, connected, it's going to come over. That's that line right here, is this line right here. And then a circle, which is a vertical turn to catch the bottom of that sink. No P-trap, so I didn't need to put another P-trap. I didn't have a P-trap symbol there. Both of these bowls are going through that one P-trap, okay? That is how that is being drawn. You could go back, pause that, take a look at that, make sure you end that up in your notes. Maybe I tell you, take the drain for the kitchen sink and head in this direction. And I might tell you, put a clean out in the back. So you're going to take the drain off of this circle. That's where you're going. You're not just going to send it straight out from the P-trap. Go over the side, put a circle, go in that direction. If I set a clean out in the back, come out of the back of that horizontal run under the floor and put a clean out. You can label that CO for clean out, V for vent on that, and there's your kitchen sink. Okay? See how that is? Now, how's that going to look? Just as a little preview. Say, well, what does that look like isometrically? What that's going to look like is, let's just say we've got, here's our sink tops. There's our double compartment sinks. Or maybe this is all in a, this might be hidden cabinets here. Your sink sets in there. Here comes your cabinet. Cabinet to the kitchen sink, double compartment sink, faucet up here. Okay, so how's this going to look? That would actually be hidden behind here, but those sinks sit down in here. Of course, yours would be better than this, but you get straight edges. Okay, there's those sinks dropping in behind in there. We're gonna take a sink. That's gonna come out of the bottom of that sink right there. Gonna come down. Gonna trap. It's gonna go back into the wall behind the sink. We got another bottom of the sink over here. So we got to come out of that, come across, turn vertical to catch that sink. Get behind in the wall. That's going to, then we might turn if we're in a window area or something like that. I might need to offset that over to one side. Then you can turn vertically and go up with a vent, and you can go down with the drain to get underneath the floor. So if there it is, see, that's where the floor is sitting. That's where you went through the hole right there, through the floor. Now, if I told you send the drain and going out in this direction, you'd hook a drain to it. There went the drain going out the front. If I told you put a clean out in the back, come out the back. You put a clean out. Don't look at that and stress on it too much. That's where you're heading with your isometrics, and you're going to get some isometric paper. It's got all the lines on those angles for you to follow, and we're going to look at how to convert that. Right now, I just want you doing those bird's eye view drawings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you for your homework, I'm going to give you something that's going to show you a kitchen sink. And I'm going to tell you, send the drain out in this direction. And then I said, with a clean out in the back. That would be your directions. So you'd say, okay, let me go back to my notes and I'll take a look at that and say, what have I got? I'm going to plumb up that sink. So you're going to say a P-trap under the one side. It's going to go back into the wall. The arm coming off of that one and picking up the second bowl. That goes over to one side, getting away from any window or opening that's there. Then another vertical turn, sending the vent up, and the drain goes down below the floor. Then I said, go out in this direction, so you're going to send it that way. If I told you to put a clean out in the back, you're just going to come over here and put a clean out. Okay? So, and then that would be the plumbing. That would be what you're going to submit to me for a drawing. So, I hope you all have got all these down. Here's your basic residential fixtures. And for your assignment is, let me go ahead and give you these here. So you might need to go back and review. You should go back and you should already have all the drawings that I'm going to ask you to complete. We've already done them here on the board. So it's just a matter of you going back, looking at your notes, or if you didn't get notes down, go back and look at the video, put some notes down, and then answer these problems and these questions. So for number one, here it is. I want the bird's eye view. You're going to do bird's eye view drawings for all of these. Bird's eye view drawings. Number one, we're going to start with the water closet. So I've got a water closet. I want you to draw the drain going, let's send it in this direction with a clean out in the back. Okay, that's number one. Now you can choose to draw the fixture there if you wanted to. If you want to put the toilet, you can. If you just say, well, I'm just going to draw just the plumbing portion of it, that's fine as well. Okay. The main thing is that you've got all of the plumbing that I'm asking for. I want you to draw the individual drains, plumbing, that's going to hook this toilet up, send the drain going out in this direction, but also has a clean out in the back of the run. That is number one. Okay. Number two. We're going to come down here to a shower. that's what you would see on your floor plan. So I want you to send the drain out in this direction. Say that's the drain direction. This is the way the drain's going. I want you to individually vent, which means individually. You're going to have one vent serves one trap. So I want you to put individually, or we can just say individual vent in wall. Okay? Individual vent in wall. Got that? Drain going out in that direction. And put a show of vent in the wall. Look back at your notes if you're a little confused on that. All right, so we got the water closet, we got a shower. Now let's look at a tub shower. Number 3. I'm going to put a okay, there's the tub shower. I want you to send the drain going in this direction. You know, stuff is much easier than what you think. And now you might have to go back and be like, well, am I doing this right? Does that seem maybe this seems too easy? Go back and look at your notes, see what you got to do. Just all you're doing, there it is. Draw the drain going out in that direction. You could choose to draw the tub if you wanted to or not. Doesn't matter to me. Number 4. Now they start to get a little bit more tricky. But you got the clothes washer. You got a washer. You got a dryer. I want you to send the drain in this direction with a clean out in the back of the drain line. Okay? There's your washer and dryer. You're sending the drain going out in this direction, putting a clean out in the back of that main drain that's underneath the floor. Go back and look at your notes. Go back and look at the video and get that drawn. Number 5. You've got a lavatory sink. I want you to draw the drain going in this direction with a clean out in the back. Okay, go back and look at that. So you should be seeing a vent on these as well, even though I did say show the vent on here. You're going to have a vent shown on the washer. You'll also have a vent shown on this lavatory. All your sinks are always going to show a vent. I did not ask for a vent on this one, and I did not ask for a vent on here, so you will not see vents on those fixtures. Last one is number 6, is the kitchen sink. Let's do a double bowl sink here. I'm going to send the drain in this direction. I'm not going to ask for a clean out in the back, so you do not have to show the clean out. But you will have, so you're going to also, since it's a sink, you will show a vent that's in the wall, and the drain is going to go out that way. I'm not telling you that the drain is lined up with this line. Don't put a trap here and send it out in line with that. I'm just saying it's ultimately heading in this direction. If you need to go back into the wall and then put your circle to show the drop down and the vent going up and then head in that direction, that's what you need to do. Okay? There you are. That is your assignment. That's your assignment for this next week. So I've got almost everybody's assignments already in. A few more just need to get them to me. this is what you're working on now. Just go back through, make sure that you get all these written down in your notes. I want this on a separate sheet of paper that's nice and clean. Try to keep all your drawings as clean as possible. Don't turn that in on some old wadded up tissue or some crinkled up thing with coffee stains on it and everything else. Try to turn it in on something that you kind of a little bit proud of, that put a little bit of effort. When you draw lines, go ahead and use that straight edge. I want you used to using a straight edge with your drawings. I want them looking pretty clean, okay? So make them nice and crisp. Make good circles. Don't just slop something down there all smudgy and then expect a good grade. I'm going to really, I'll start taking a little bit more points off for just cleanliness of the work, okay? So did you take a little bit of pride, a little bit of time, a little bit of effort into making these things look the best that they possibly can? So if you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you are not in the plumbing class, then take a picture of the bird's eye view drawings that you end up coming up with, snap a picture, send them to me, and then I can grade you based on that, and I'll get you some feedback on your drawings. I will be letting you know as far as if you're in the plumbing class where I'll be seeing you face to face. I'll be asking you to bring those drawings in with you. So those will be due next week. So, all right. Hope you have a great day, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.